Peace everyone, Unmask Art here, and welcome back to the Drawing Journal. Alright, so as you can see, I'm still working on this portrait that I started doing a few weeks ago. This is a tutorial series that I did over on Patreon. So on Patreon, you can watch me do all the vital parts live. I live streamed it just over on Patreon. So last week I did the live stream of this portion of the hair, which took quite a lot of time, which is why I left this last little piece down here. And so today the goal is to just finish this portrait, and then later I will make the time lapse of it and do a narrated tutorial, kind of a shorter tutorial for here on YouTube. So this is what the portrait looks like so far. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit onto this section of the hair and hit record. There we go. And start coloring now. Hello Moni, Chrissy, and Renate. Thanks for coming by the live stream. Moni, I saw that you backed my Kickstarter. I'm very grateful. Thank you for that. It's like the thumbnail says, it was at 38% when I made the thumbnail, and then just a couple days later, today, I think it's about 43%, I think, somewhere around there. So yeah. Thank you very much. All right, I'm going to start coloring now. So I need to figure out what color I'm going to use. The strategy that I went through on the live stream for Patreon is pretty straightforward. But today's drawing journal, it's not really going to be a tutorial, so I'm just going to be drawing, talking about stuff like I normally do. So hopefully everybody had a nice weekend. My weekend was pretty good. The weather was quite nice, and that was always a positive thing. It wasn't as nice as I was hoping, because it said that it was supposed to rain Saturday and Sunday, and it didn't rain either of those days, which is annoying because Anna and I, we really wanted to go to Krakow to just walk around and get some tasty food down there. But unfortunately, it said it was going to rain, and it never did. So we just kind of ended up hanging out in the house because we expected it to rain. It was a bit cloudy the entire weekend, but it never actually rained. So yeah, hopefully next weekend will be nice, because I've been dying to go to Krakow for some Nova Krova burgers, and yeah, so maybe next week, and I'll probably take my camera and make a little vlog out of it or something. I don't know. I always enjoy doing that, because Krakow is one of my favorite cities for sure. Other than that, goodness, the Kickstarter is doing really, really awesome, and I'm very excited. So I spent all morning. So as soon as Anna left for work, which was right around 7:30, from 7:30 until just about maybe an hour ago, I have been editing the Intro to Pastel course. I estimated I have about 7 hours of video, and that's just the course itself. I have the intro video and I have the outro video, so I think I have 16 or 17 individual videos that I need to edit, so it's going to take quite some time for sure. And yeah, so that's how I spent my morning. and now I'm here doing this video. So lots of work this week. Tomorrow I have a commission that I severely need to finish. So tomorrow is going to be dedicated to finishing a painting commission that I have, and then of course I have a video to make of that, but I won't do that tomorrow. I'll finish recording and painting tomorrow, and then today I'll just take a break after this. I think I deserve a break after all of what I did today once I finish the live stream, because I've been just editing like crazy. It's kind of been driving me nuts, because editing is usually really fun, but the part of the editing that I'm doing right now is like just the most boring part of editing, and so it's just really boring. And what I'm doing right now, so like I said, I have like 15 videos that I'm editing, and then all I've done so far is like establish the timeline for all the footage that I've created, so that I have all the courses laid out clearly, and I can then go in and do all the fine-tuning for the edits. And then of course after that I have to do color correction, and then I have to do sound. So it's going to be a really long time. I guess I never really mentioned how long it takes for me to edit a video. See, there's a clear difference between the videos that I produce and some of the videos that other people produce, because I do have some of those just like boring, not necessarily boring, but those just plain time lapses where it shows just one camera angle, and I don't do a lot of like real in-depth filming while I'm drawing. But then of course I have those other time lapses where not only the drawing takes all day, but the filming adds like 6 more hours on top of the drawing, because I'm constantly moving around the camera. I'm doing real-time footage plus time-lapse footage. I'm using 2 or maybe 3 cameras, and so some of my more in-depth videos can take anywhere between 5 to 7 hours just to edit, and so I have basically that equivalent times 15 for the Intro to Pastel course. So it's really, really time consuming, and I'm excited to have it done for everybody, because everybody that's supported the Kickstarter so far, it's just been so much more encouraging to see how many people are excited about this course, and I'm beyond grateful for everybody that has supported me through this project and my channel and everything like that. I'm coming up on 10,000 subscribers, and I'm like, I'm still not sure what I'm gonna do. I think I'll just end up giving art supplies away. So I'll do like some kind of raffle or something like that. I don't know how I'm gonna do it or organize it. That's just one more thing I need to figure out. And then I'll just announce maybe 3 winners, I guess, and I'll just ask them, what art supplies do you want, and I'll just buy them art supplies and have it shipped to their house or whatever. I don't know. I want to keep it kind of simple on my part, because I have so much stuff going on right now. Hold on, let me catch up with the chat. Hello, Anne. I'm glad you could come by. Rotten Cherry Art. I think this is the first time I've seen you in a live stream. So welcome. Yes, I agree, Moni. I think the $10 is an extremely good price for the amount of footage and the length of the course. So based on my rough estimate, the course is going to be about 7 hours long. And to get a 7-hour long course in any medium, or really any tutorial about anything, for only $10 is pretty unprecedented. I mean, usually just a 4-hour course or something would cost like $30 to $40. And if you think of the like the live courses that people might do where they teach you in real life, where you go to like a studio and you sit down with a bunch of students, blah blah blah, and then there's like an artist that leads the course. You can spend as much as $100 for maybe a 2 or 3 hour course. So to get a 7-hour course that includes 5 unique pastel paintings from beginning to end, I think $10 is almost absurd to only charge that much. Of course, once I complete the course and I'm selling it on my website, the course will be $25 instead of $10. I'm kind of using the incentive to back the Kickstarter to just put it at $10 there, so that I kind of sell more copies of the course before it actually launches, just to help offset the cost of making it. And I don't know if I mentioned it before, but really what the Kickstarter is, the Kickstarter is helping with the production cost of it, and it's also going to help me like kind of reimburse me for all the supplies that I bought and ordered, and then also for setting up my online store on my website, because it's going to be a few $100s to set up my online store. And so it kind of has the benefit of me being able to open my online store to sell the course itself, but I also will begin selling my prints and some of my original work on my website as well. So they will be, it'll just make my life much, much easier. So that's kind of the motivation behind the Kickstarter, but also to give people an opportunity to support the project. And let's see, who else do we have? Hello, Leontine. I noticed that you pledged on Patreon either yesterday or the day before that. I was really excited to see your name come across in my email when it said that you pledged. I'm very grateful for that. So thank you so much. For those of you in the live stream that see Leontine in the chat there, she has a really awesome channel, YouTube channel as well, and she just graciously supported me over on Patreon. So thank you again. Let's see here. So if you're wondering what I'm doing right now, basically I am blocking in all the dark areas with just a black pencil and kind of creating the different layers of these curls that are going on right here, because it's kind of tedious down here with all this detail. So kind of use this blocking in technique to help with that. Pat, no, this is not a portrait of my wife. No, this is just a portrait that I am doing for a tutorial series over on Patreon. So I'm just finishing up this section of the hair because I kind of ran out of time to live stream it on Patreon, and so I'm just finishing it up for the sake of that, for the sake of it being complete. But the full live stream of this portrait is over on Patreon. You can now, if you want to, Moni, you're mentioning that it's a bargain for my pastel course, but it's probably even more of a bargain to go over to my Patreon page, because for just $5 a month, you have access to all the live stream tutorial of this portrait, plus all the other previous live streams, which are like, I've lost count. And in this portrait, it took me like 5 or 6 hours or something like that. So for $5, you have a portrait tutorial in colored pencils. So that's even more of a bargain than my pastel course, to be honest with you. But yeah. Oh, thank you, Leontine. I appreciate that. It's very kind of you to say. Alright, so I'm going to grab another color here. Let's see. Just grab this kind of grayish color. When I do hair, so when I do this like this fine detail of hair, what I do is I ignore all the individual hairs, and basically I just block in all the major shapes, and you'll kind of see this evolve slowly. But I just kind of keep my pencil strokes in the direction that the hair is going, and ignore everything except for like the base colors. So I pretty much just ignore everything and color in random shapes. And then I blend it out with paint thinner. Hello, Julie. Yes, Pat, you should definitely join Patreon. Definitely join my Patreon page. I do Patreon live streams every week, just like this live stream, with the exception that for the drawing journal, I like to just chat with everybody and hang out, and I don't really do it for tutorial purposes. So yeah, the difference is that on Patreon it's specific to tutorial. And this Friday, the tutorial on Patreon is going to be a new series. It's going to be a 2-part series called Fur versus Feather. And basically I'm drawing a little kitty and a bird like in the same scene. That will be what the final piece is going to look like. And the tutorial series is going to be focusing on the techniques in colored pencils to draw fur versus the techniques that are used to draw feathers, and in a way to create those two different textures. They're very similar, but there's distinct differences that make feathers look like feathers as opposed to feathers looking like fur. And so a couple weeks ago I did a poll over on Patreon and I asked what people wanted, like what kind of tutorial people wanted to see. And the first thing what most people wanted to see was a portrait. So I did this portrait. So that's why I'm drawing this kind of random person, because I have no idea who this person is. I just thought it was a really good photograph of a person that had all the basic elements to teach portrait work in colored pencils, because it's not complicated. This is a very simple portrait. There's no clothes, there's no necklace, there's no fancy jewelry or anything like that. It's just a simple facial expression with some skin tones and then some hair. So it was really just the most basic portrait that I could find, and there's no really contrasted shadows or anything like that. It's kind of a glamour shot, and so the lighting is very even. There's not a lot of complexity in the shadows or anything like that. So it just seemed like a really good portrait to start off with. And so that's why I chose this particular picture, really for no other reason than that. But yeah, so that's the next thing that people wanted was a tutorial on fur and feathers. So that's why I'm doing that. What is a kookaburra? Did I? Is that? I imagine it's an animal, but I don't think I've heard of it before. Is it a kind of bird? I don't know. To me, it kind of sounds like a bird name. Yeah, I actually have a lot of videos that I'm kind of getting backed up with videos that I need to edit because of this pastel course. I have the real time drawing of my slow loris, the time lapse that I did a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to upload the real time footage of me drawing the slow loris in pastels. I'm going to upload that to Patreon, and yeah, I have that to edit, which I haven't even, honestly, I don't even think I have the footage in Final Cut Pro right now. So I'm really, really far behind on that one. I need an assistant that can edit for me. I was telling my wife a couple weeks ago I wish that I made enough money on YouTube so that she could quit her job, and then I could hire her as an assistant, and then she could just help me edit videos and help me record videos. It would be so awesome to have a camera person operating a second or third camera while I'm recording, because sometimes it's just so painful. And there's certain shots, like there's shots that I think of in my head that I wish that I could get by myself, but I just can't, because I can't move the camera the way that I would love to while I'm drawing, just to get some really nice artistic shots. There was this movie that I watched a couple weeks ago. What is it called? A Monster Calls. I don't know. It wasn't. I didn't hear a lot about this movie, but I came across it, and it was actually really good. It was a really interesting movie, a unique kind of approach to this theme of like death. It was kind of a theme to death, and it was really, really unique, and I really enjoyed the movie. But there's this scene in the movie where this little kid is drawing a monster or whatever, and I just loved the way this sequence of shots went. The editing and the shooting of this sequence of shots where this little kid was drawing this monster was just amazing. It was just so perfect. And I was like, man, I wish I could get shots like that while I was drawing. But I can't, because I only have two arms, and I can't move the camera the way they did in that movie. But I wish I could, because it was just perfect. Actually I rewinded it. First time watching the movie, Anna and I, we were watching the movie, and I was like, I have to watch that over again because it was so good. Okay, Mona, that sounds good. Yeah, you come to Poland, you can be my camera operator, and I'll teach you how to edit. I'll teach you how to edit the way that I edit. I was telling my wife that if I do, if it came to the point where I could hire her and she could quit her job, I told her that we could just start her own YouTube channel as well, and just have all kinds of fun. I'd help her make her videos, she'd help me make my videos, and it would just be a ton of fun. I'll have to look up that bird and see what it sounds like. Based on your guys' description, it sounds like it's pretty funny or weird sounding. This is like the ugliest stage of drawing. Oh goodness, what else? What else to talk about? So also this weekend, how many of you are into Magic the Gathering? So Magic cards. So I used to play a little bit when I was in high school with a couple friends, and I never like got into it nearly as hardcore as some of them did. I never really spent much money on it, whereas they were spending like thousands of dollars. But I enjoyed it a lot. I really had a lot of fun playing it when I was in high school, like during lunch and whatnot. And so I always had my decks with me, and so I taught Anna how to play on Saturday, and we played a couple times, and she beat me a couple times. I beat her a couple times. It was fun. It was fun. It took me a while to like relearn it. I had to look up a bunch of instructions online and YouTube videos and all kinds of stuff because I had totally forgot how to play. But it was a lot of fun. And there's a few places here in Katowice that I'm gonna go visit very soon because they have like tournaments and stuff like that. And so hopefully I can make a friend. I would like to make my first friend here in Poland, especially since I'm going to be getting my residency pretty soon and I won't have to leave Poland anymore. I can just stay as long as I want. But yeah. Oh, thank you, Pat. That's so awesome. Thank you for joining on Patreon. Oh, okay. Cool, Julie. Thank you. I'll have a look at your drawing. Oh, really, Anne? That's cool. Maybe when I come visit you in Finland, I'll bring my cards and we can play some Magic together. Nefka? You lived near Katowice? Where do you live now? All right, guys, I'm off. Oh, okay, Mona, good luck in your interview. Hopefully you get a job. Yes, I agree. The some of the Magic cards do have really nice pictures. That's part of the reason I really gravitate towards them is because some of the artists that create the Magic cards are just phenomenal. I actually considered drawing. Oh, Miss Lovica. Oh, that's cool. Oh, thank you, Coffee Cat. I'm glad you were able to make it to the live stream. It's nice to see you again. Yeah, the Kickstarter is doing well, and it should. I'm expecting it to be fully backed. I'm not concerned. I got a couple weeks left, and it's almost 50%. So I think I think it will be okay. I think it'll be good. Trying to keep up with the I'm trying to keep up with the chat, but also draw at the same time. So I apologize if I miss your comment or question or whatever. If you do ask me a question directly, just do the tag me the at Unmask Art so I can see it in red. That makes it a little bit easier for me because it's hard to tell when you're just talking to somebody else or whether you're trying to ask me a question or something like that. Um, Oh, now I know how you take your Rojpuchnik. Rojpuchnik? I don't know. My Polish is really bad, so I don't know what that is. Oh, that's that. Oh, hello, Lee Art. Oh, that's fine, Coffee Cat. No reason to apologize. I understand people have lives. Sometimes they get in the way of my live streams. Uh, Real quick, I just thought of something. Um, oh, yes. My solvent, my turpentinia. Yeah, okay. I think I remember your comment now about my solvent, and now knowing that what I use. Goodness gracious. I just forgot what I was about to say. Oh, yes. So, next Saturday, it's not a guarantee yet. So, next Saturday, Anna and I might do another live stream, but it would be in the evening, so it would accommodate a few more people. So, we're thinking maybe around 18, 19 our time. So, that would be about noon East Coast time in the United States, and I have no idea what time that would be in Australia, because I still don't know Australia's time zone in relation to my own. Though I should, because I have a lot of people from Australia that support my channel and stuff. But yeah, so we're kind of considering. It's, like I said, not guaranteed, but I would like to do it. I'm sure many of you would like to see it again. But we'll be playing with Pastels, so. Is this really live? It's 7:30 in the morning here in New York. Yes, Pamela Green, this is definitely live. I'm live in Poland, so let's see, it's 1:30 here now. So yeah, 7:30 New York time. I try to. I think 1 o'clock my time is kind of like the best time that I can do on Mondays, where it's not super early in the morning and it's not late at night after my wife comes home. So yeah. Anyways, back to the topic there. I'm probably going to try to convince my wife to do another live stream with me this Saturday. So it's okay, 9:30 p.m. in Australia. That's not too bad. I mean, I'm not keeping you up too late, am I? You're not past your bedtime at 9:30. I mean, 9:30 is not even past my bedtime. So I think 1 o'clock is pretty good. Although a lot of people in the United States do still kind of miss my live streams, because it's a bit early for all the lazy people that I know in the United States. Okay, so everybody's telling us what time it is where they're at. Okay, so as you can see, so what I'm doing now is kind of using this darker brown color to create a little bit of value and break up some of the extra hairs. Not that anybody asked what I'm doing, but I just felt like it was necessary to explain, because it looks so bad right now. So okay, cool. I'm glad 1 o'clock is a good time. Every time I finish my live stream, I always check the statistics to see to see what kind of what time period throughout the live stream was best, and it's always consistently been from like 1 o'clock to like 2:30. That's where most of the people are able to come into the live stream and just hang out. So that's why I've kind of kept it around this time, because I started out doing the live streams like really early. So yeah, 6 hour difference. It's something to get used to. But I'm glad that you came over, Pamela. I'm really glad that you're here. We have a lot of fun on the live streams. Yeah, I know. I need to have, along with my color charts here, I just need to get a little clock to hang over top of them to show me what time it is all over the world. That would make it a little bit easier. So one of the things, when I'm doing hair, one of the things I don't put in is like the loose flyaways. I leave those till the end. I just focus on the large big pieces and completely ignore the flyaways. So that's what you see missing here right now, is those loose flyaways. Not that anybody asked, I'm just saying. All right. I want to get enough of this colored pencil pigment down on the paper so that when I blend it out, I don't have to do like multiple layers. I'll just have this layer kind of covering all the paper at once. So I'm going to use a little bit more of my gray color for a base color. Do I do digital? Paintings? Not really. I think I only have like one time lapse where I did a digital painting, and it was actually a collaboration with another digital artist. It was a Coffee with Friends collaboration. Speaking Coffee with Friends collaboration, I haven't done one of those in a while. But yeah, it was a Coffee with Friends collaboration, and it was my first time doing a complete digital drawing and painting time lapse, and it's the only one that I've done on my channel. It was a lot of fun. Definitely, I could definitely use some work with my digital paintings for sure. But I kind of explained more about it and more about my experience and my how I am able to do a digital painting, because I've never really got into the digital side of painting, because it was, I don't know, it appeals to me to look at, but it doesn't necessarily appeal to me to perform. And I don't know, it's kind of like reading a book. For me, I can't do ebooks. Like, I can't read it off of a screen. It doesn't work for me. I have to feel the pages and I have to flip them. I need the physical book. So that's what drawing and painting is for me. Like, I need the paper. I need to feel it. I need to have to sharpen my pencils and stuff like that. And I've never really just got into the digital stuff too much. But I think it's really awesome. I mean, digital work is certainly great, but it just never really appealed to me that much. But I do like it. I mean, I have my drawing monitor over there, the Oogie 2150, and I just all I use it for is to collect dust and then like dust it off like twice a month because it gets too dusty. But it just kind of sits over there, and I almost never use it anymore, which is unfortunate. But I got it for free, so I mean, at least there's that. Okay, I'm gonna blend some of this out now. Try to get this to look halfway decent. Yeah, I love your work, Coffee Cat. Which I've mentioned a few times. Your digital work is just so awesome. Like if I really got into digital work seriously, like I would be my work I think would look quite similar to yours, or I would want it to look quite similar to yours. Um, but I don't know. I just never had much patience with it, which is funny. Like I don't know. I just like working traditionally so much, and I should do another digital piece sometime, just just to do it and have fun with it, because I do enjoy it. Like it's not something that I don't enjoy completely. It's just something that I haven't really got into very much. And my goodness, I have so many things that I'm doing right now that I almost can't even bring myself to plug my monitor in because it takes so much time for me to walk over there and then bring it back that I feel like I could be doing something more productive. And if I get into digital work, like I'm gonna sit here because for me it's almost like a video game. It's fun. It is. It's a lot of fun, but I just lose track of time and I end up creating nothing, and that's probably my worst. My worst attribute working digitally is that I'll sit there and I'll play around with stuff for like hours, but I won't actually make anything. And yeah, because I'm in the for me I'm in the stage of digital art where I have to just figure it out, and that takes me hours and hours to just fiddle around and play with stuff. And I really wish that I really wish I felt like I had more time, but I have so many projects that I'm working on that I can't even think about it right now. I just like for the past couple weeks, really, my drawing journals have been kind of me finishing up projects that are way overdue. Like I should be done with this. I should be done with this portrait, and I should have a lot more of my pastel course edited. I should be much farther along. I have this commissioned painting that is way past due for completion, and I need to finish that tomorrow, and that's going to take all day. So I've really kind of spread myself out quite thin over the past couple months, trying to complete a whole bunch of stuff. Because I had one week a few weeks ago where I needed to change my website host, and fortunately I had a very lovely person help me through that, but it was painful and it took like 3 days, and I had to rebuild my website, though it looks much nicer now, and it took so long, it just kind of burnt me out from doing anything else. um, Yeah, I'm right there with you, Leontine. For my skill level with digital artwork right now, I feel like my digital work has a lot less character than my traditional work, and I think that's something that kind of shows through with the one digital painting that I did do. for my Coffee with Friends collaboration, because if you look at my digital side versus oh goodness, how can I forget her name? I feel terrible now that I forgot who I did the collaboration with. I owe it to her to know. I want to say it starts with an S. Oh goodness, I have to find it really quick. So I did the collaboration with Safi Rosa. Goodness. Yes. And the her side had just so much character to it. It almost looked like it could have been traditional, but with like super clean lines. And my side looked a bit, kind of flat, I guess. I think that's the best way to describe it. Just kind of looked flat and bland. And her side had so much more character. You could definitely tell she was much more comfortable in the digital, on a digital palette than I was for that project. But it was a good learning experience, and I still had a ton of fun doing it. So, all right, that's enough blending. I think I can play around with some other colors. Sorry, I need some water. Oh, Cassandra, I totally agree. Control Z. I wish I could Control Z just about like everything. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes life needs a Control Z. You know, there was a period of time where I was working in Photoshop a lot, and I was, of course, using Control Z constantly. I don't even remember what I was doing, to be honest with you. But then I would switch over and start doing traditional medium again, and I'd almost start looking for the Control Z when I would do something. So yeah, Coffee Cat. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. Like I'm drawing a line or something, instead of reaching for my eraser, I reach for my keyboard to hit Control Z. Yeah, I've done it a couple times, even with my limited amount of digital work. So, all right, now I'm going to start adding some glazing colors and some detail. Bring in some of these oranges here that she has in her hair. You try to zoom in on a printed copy. That's funny. That's funny. Zooming in on a printed copy of a reference photo. Yeah. That's great. You know, one of the things I've never done is when I've painted, I've never accidentally put my brush in my water or my tea. I've never done that one, but I've definitely heard of a lot of people doing that one, but I haven't fallen for that one yet. All right, I'm gonna just get some of these oranges into the hair, and I'm probably gonna add some more colors as well, and then blend it out one more time. Not too much left here, really. There's mostly just the flyaways that I need to add in, and then kind of reinforce the texture with some detail. some other color here. I'm gonna add some of this red. Yeah, that you're probably right. I probably haven't painted enough. I need to do another painting. Well, technically tomorrow I'm going to be painting, but I need to do another small painting, I think. Another painting live stream. If I wasn't, we'll see how I am doing after tomorrow with my pastel course as far as editing and whatnot. We'll see how I'm doing there, because if I feel comfortable enough, then maybe I'll do another live acrylic painting. I haven't done one of those in a while, and I think it's way past due. So maybe I'll do something like that on Thursday. I'll do like a live acrylic painting. I think that would be fun to do. I need to do another live pastel piece. I'm going to do a live pastel tutorial on Patreon soon as well. I already have a project in mind, and I need to figure out what I'm going to do Saturday if I can convince my wife to do a live stream with me, because we're going to be playing with pastels. I want to do something that isn't going to be too difficult and she won't get too frustrated with, because I know how working with a new medium can certainly be frustrating, so don't want to overwhelm her with a project that she can't handle. So if you guys have any ideas, of what pastel piece you would like me to try to teach my wife on Saturday's live stream, let me know. Like what subject, what I should do, or something like that. So give me an idea and I'll let her know. Yeah, Paul, you're right. Life would be great if life didn't keep getting in the way. I think there's two things about life that constantly feel like they're always in my way, and that's eating and sleeping. A lot of people disagree with both of those things when I say them, but I would prefer to not have to sleep and to not have to eat. I wish that I didn't have to do either of those two things, because they take up so much time. I wish I could function at 100% capacity with no sleep and no eating ever. But people say they love food and whatnot, but you need food. Like you can't not eat. And yeah, I feel like those two things are always getting in the way. A bird? Some manga? Wait, I'm not quite sure if you're responding to what I should draw or do with pastels with my wife on Saturday. So clarify. Are you referring to me? I'm looking for a color here. Oh, you love eating? See, that's what I'm talking about. People love to eat. They enjoy the taste of food. I mean, don't get me wrong. I enjoy eating when I'm hungry and the food is tasty. I do. I enjoy eating, but I would prefer not to have to. I would prefer not to have to eat. So if I didn't want to eat, then I wouldn't, and I could just go about my day doing whatever it is I want. Because I remember, okay, so I used to be like hardcore into Call of Duty. It was just the Xbox 360 like 5 years ago or something like that. This was before I went I started in college, because once I started college, I had to sell my games, because I was like, nope, I'm not gonna pass my classes if I have video games there to distract me. So I hated to eat, because I would play for like 16 straight hours, and I would get so weak from playing that I had to stop to eat. And so definitely during those times, I wish I could just go without eating, but I couldn't because it was too much. I had to eat something. So, yeah. It's not that I don't like to eat, it's just that I wish I didn't have to. Because trust me, I make plenty of good food. So, I enjoy that part of it for sure. Okay. A manga drawing. I don't think that's a good idea, because trying to teach my wife to draw like anime or manga style would be pretty difficult to do during a live stream. And plus, we're going to be working with pastels. Yes, paint a bird. Okay, so a bird for Saturday sounds good. You like my ambidextrous? Ambidextrous. I'm ambidextrous, but how would I turn that into an adjective? Or a noun, I guess. My ambidexterity. Okay, you love my ambidexterity. Maybe that's what we'll do. So maybe we'll do a bird, and I'll draw with my left hand, and Anna will draw with her right hand. Okay, I need to do some more blending. You're all distracting me. I'm never going to finish this. I don't know. A bird? Yeah, a bird could be good. I'm trying to think of my initial feelings was to do some kind of landscape. But to do a bird, that I'll have to find a good reference photo. Maybe we'll do one of those crazy laughing birds that you guys were talking about earlier. I have to find a good reference photo for that. Yeah. I think the worst part about having to eat is when you don't eat and then you realize that you haven't eaten and you're creating and your hand is all shaky because you need to eat, and you're like, and you can't get work done because you're working on like fine details or whatever, and you can't do anything because your hand is just shaking like crazy. Because I get that a lot. I get that quite a bit, where I have to stop whatever I'm doing because my hand is shaking so bad that I can't hold a pencil straight or make a line. Can't make a straight line because my hand's shaking so bad. Okay. I just dropped my lid. All right. So I'm almost done with this. Basically, the only thing left to do is to go through and create all the fun little details. Yeah, a landscape with pastels is certainly much easier than like going for something like a bird because it has the freedom of not having to draw. Like to draw a tree, you don't really need to be correct. But if we were to do a bird, like you most of you probably saw the live stream where Anna and I drew bell peppers, and her drawing accuracy isn't quite where she wants it to be. She recognizes that her drawing accuracy is not is not as good as she wants it to be, and it takes her a bit more time to than me. So I can draw something and be pretty accurate really, really quickly, whereas for her, the drawing accuracy takes a bit more time, and so to draw a subject like a bird might not be the best idea because I think the bell pepper live stream was like 3 hours or something like that, 3.5 hours. So it was like super long. So a pastel bird, I don't know if I'll be able to convince her of that. That's the one thing, because it would take a long time, to draw such a thing, and yeah. So I like the idea of doing a bird. It's a great idea. However, I don't know if I'm going to be able to convince her to do such a thing because it's going to be difficult for her. It will be pretty difficult. So I might have to stick to a landscape. So if you have any landscape ideas, like what kind of landscape, maybe she's not the only person, but a lot of you have also mentioned some kind of landscape that involves a waterfall. And Anna, she's been bugging me to do a waterfall of some kind for weeks now. So maybe Saturday we will do a waterfall themed landscape. So some kind of landscape that involves a waterfall or something like that. So maybe I'll have to talk to her and figure out if she wants to do the live stream, and then once I convince her, I will post it so that it will promote for a couple days. River painting, that would be kind of fun. A river with a waterfall. Yeah. I would like to do something with some water in it. Water is always fun to do. It's a nice challenge, but it's not too difficult that I don't think that she'd be able to do. And working with pastels, doing landscape with pastels is, for me, it's just so easy. It's pretty much the easiest subject to do with pastels, I think, in my opinion, is doing landscapes, because there's just so much freedom with the color. It's much easier than painting, in my opinion. Then painting landscapes is more difficult than pastel landscapes, based on my experience so far. Okay, so a waterfall. I'll have to come up with kind of a design for a landscape that includes a waterfall that's not too complicated. I don't want to have too much perspective in it, so that's a bit easier for her to do. Something out of my comfort zone, so something really loose. Well, actually, I feel like my pastel drawings are really loose. Like, I don't. Do they not come off that way? No, Chrissy. I have to say, no more flowers. I have this. No more pastel flowers. Okay, I'm done with flowers. I didn't like this drawing at all. And so not a flower. I can't do another flower. But yeah, I feel like my pastel work is pretty loose in regards to some of my more realistic drawings and things like that. So I'm curious as to what you might be referring to as more loose, like almost abstract loose, or what? Because yeah. So let me know what exactly you might be referring to. Because I don't really put a lot of detail in my pastel landscapes. Like I don't pay much attention to the precision of a lot of the details. For the most part, it's all about just getting the colors right. And so I focus mainly on just the colors. All right. So the last little bit of stuff that I need to do with this is just kind of come in here and create some fun details and kind of contrast, build up the contrast in the shadows, and create the last bit of details. And I'm using my polychromos for this, so I have been loving the combination of something less planned. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, that. Thank you, August. I'm glad that a lot of people really liked that sunflower, and to me, I don't know. There's just something about it that I really, really don't like. Like, if I accidentally ruined it, like if I accidentally spilt water on it, I really wouldn't be bothered at all. And I have no idea why. I really don't know why. Hello, Carol. Thanks for coming by the live stream. Let's see. So, something a bit less planned. Okay, I could. Yeah. Goodness, that's a tall order. Something less planned. I should just make a video on how much planning I do, because I don't think it really. I don't know if I come across as planned as I really am, because I really do plan everything down to pretty much every detail. Almost nothing that I ever draw or create is completely unplanned. So I'm trying to think of what I would do for an unplanned kind of pastel waterfall. So, it would be, I don't know. Okay, so that's something that I might want to leave for just myself. I don't know if I want to do an unplanned piece as a tutorial with my wife on a live stream, because if I plan something, if I create kind of because a lot of my landscapes are things that I put together in Photoshop using other photos. So I take I take like a series of reference photos, and then sometimes I'll kind of just mush them together in Photoshop and create a different scene of some kind. And if I do that, then I can have kind of a reference photo for Anna to look at, while that will give her a bit of a better direction. So I don't know if an unplanned pastel landscape is going to be for Saturday. But I'll do one. I promise I'll do one. If I complete, like, my goal for this week is to have my my pastel tutorial all edited and all the files kind of ready to put on my website for people to download and ready for me to email to everybody that bought the or backed the Kickstarter. So yeah, then I'll try to do an unplanned pastel landscape for next week, but I don't know if I want to put Anna through that. Thank you, Carol. I'm glad you like the drawing. No, this is not my wife. This is definitely not my wife. This is just a portrait drawing that I did as a tutorial on Patreon, and I'm just finishing up some last little detail work for the sake of having this drawing finally complete, because the live stream of this is over on Patreon, so you can watch the full live streams broken up into sections: the eyes, the face, the lips, the hair, and stuff like that, over on Patreon. But no, this is not my wife. Though I think this woman is quite lovely looking, I find my wife far more attractive. And I would definitely draw this portrait a lot better if it was my wife. I'm really not even putting 100% into this portrait, just for tutorial purposes, that's all. Just to go over certain skills and strategies and stuff like that. So, yeah. Not my wife. Not planning and trying to teach it's a recipe for disaster. Yeah, I kind of agree. It's not having a plan and then trying to teach, like, my thought processes behind the creation is just, I think it's a bit much for a live tutorial. So, especially Saturday is going to be Anna's first time playing with pastels. So, yeah, I think I have to plan a little bit for this one. How is my book illustration? Which book illustration might you be referring to? Because I'm not quite sure. I have the video series on illustrating a book, but that was a project that was a while ago, and I'm not sure if that's what you're referring to or not. But if it is what you're referring to, the book has not been published yet, so my illustrations, though they're sold to the author of the book, and she has the original illustrations. She hasn't published the book yet, so I haven't actually talked to her about that in quite some time. It's been over a year now since I've contacted her about the release of her children's book that I illustrated for her. The Lady by the Windows. Oh, yes. The Lady by the Windows. Yeah, that was what I was mentioning. I haven't the author hasn't published the book yet. It's been a while since I finished that project, but I was just hired to illustrate. I didn't have anything to do with the actual release of the book or anything like that. So she hasn't gotten the book published. So I don't have a copy of it or anything or any information about that, unfortunately. It would be cool to see my illustrations in print, but unfortunately it just hasn't gotten to that point. The coloring book. So yeah, I haven't done anything with my coloring book in a really long time. The anime themed coloring book. I was actually thinking about it just the other day, and I was like, because I have this pastel course, that's actually a reality. See, I was actually talking to my wife about this. One of the things that I was most excited about with this pastels course is that I completed it. Like, I have all 5 drawings done, I have all the videos done, I'm in the middle of editing, I have the Kickstarter launched. Like, the Kickstarter is probably the one motivating factor for me to actually complete this project, because people are backing it, and I'm not going to fail to deliver it. Like, the people that trust me and support me are trusting me enough to support this project with the expectation that they're going to get it. And there is nothing going to stop me from finishing this project and getting it out there for people that backed the Kickstarter. Whereas with my anime coloring book, it kind of fell to the wayside because I had so many other things kind of coming out with my channel and with Patreon and all that fun stuff. And so it just kind of got buried in my drawer of drawings over there. And it was especially disheartening when the one drawing that I was working with, that I was going to do for the live stream like 2 months ago or whatever, got ruined like 5 seconds before going live. And it was just beyond frustrating. So yeah, it kind of killed the project for a little bit, but I think I'll come back with it. The goal really was to have it done by the end of the year, and I think there's still time to do it. So maybe when things slow down a little bit and I get a break, because honestly, as soon as things slow down, the first thing I'm going to do is take a vacation. So yeah. And that vacation is oddly going to be going back and visiting my family, which is usually never a vacation. But I need to go back to the United States and visit my family and say hello. And all of my sister's kids are growing up, and all they know me as is Uncle Will, who lives in Poland and is an artist, and they watch my YouTube channel and stuff like that. But that's about it. I haven't really gotten. I kind of missed them growing up, and yeah, kind of stinks a little bit. Fortunately, I don't like kids that much, so it's not too heartbreaking. But they're family, and I wish I could have been there more. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm gonna give all your guys' suggestions to Anna, and see what she has to say about what she wants to do for the live stream on Saturday. And I'm basing this all on the assumption that she wants to do a live stream on Saturday, so don't get your hopes up, but I'm fairly certain she'll be more than happy to do a live stream. So forgot about this hair here. She's got a bunch of hair right here. Yeah, I'm excited to do a live stream with her again, because the first one was so fun. I think we had a ton of fun together, and I think most of you enjoyed that live stream. if we do the live stream, I'm kind of okay. So like I said, I'll probably do the live stream later in the evening, but that kind of cuts out Australia, unfortunately. But it won't be our last live stream for sure, because it was so fun the first time, and it will probably most likely be just as fun for the second time. All right. I'm going to add some of the flyaways now. Kind of just toss them in here a little bit. Sometimes I can overdo these because I get caught up in making the flyaways. I love doing the flyaways. It's my favorite part about doing hair, is adding these like little flyaway details. It just makes the hair look so much more real. But it can be a bit intimidating. Especially when I have the picture taped down and I can't move it. So here's, I'm going to just move the camera a bit so you can get a better picture of this tutorial, or a better picture of this portrait, I guess you could say. There we go. Now you can see the whole thing. Hold on a second. I think I missed some things in the chat. Am I going to post this project on YouTube? Yes. So this project will be posted on YouTube, the full project. However, what won't be posted is the real-time live streams. So I did how to draw a portrait in colored pencils. Oh goodness, that was like 6 months ago or something like that. And that video is doing really, really well. So I wanted to kind of do that again. And I think it was about a half hour long. So I'm probably going to keep this one right around 20 minutes. So maybe like 15 or 20 minutes. And I'll talk about how I did it and the process and everything like that, and I'll share the time-lapsed version of the drawing, but it won't be like so fast you can't see what I'm doing. It will just be sped up quite a bit to make it around 15-20 minutes long, and I'll do it similar to how I did the other video, with the exception of the chapter markers, because they don't use annotations in videos anymore, so I can't do annotations, but I'll put like the timestamps in the description or something like that. But yeah, so I still have a little bit of work that I'm going to do on this portrait to just make the hair a bit more realistic, because right now it's kind of flat. It's not exactly as bold as I'd like it to be. So I'll add some final details, but I think that's going to be it for today. I don't really have anything else to talk about, unless you guys, excuse me, if you guys have any questions or whatever that you'd like me to answer before I jump off here and take a break from this extremely long day. I've kind of been going at 1,000 miles an hour for like 9 hours or something like that, 6-7 hours. So yeah, anyways, that's that. So I don't have any videos planned for this week so far. I do want to release a time lapse of project. So one of my projects that I did for the pastel course, I want to release the time lapses. I'll probably do like 1 or 2 a week for the next couple weeks to help promote the Kickstarter. Speaking of promoting, I'm almost to 10,000 subscribers, so if you ask your friends and family to subscribe, that would be really awesome. Maybe just share one of your favorite videos. That would also be very cool of you. And we'll see how quickly I can get to 10,000. I only have like 150 more subscribers left, so most likely by next Saturday, actually, by this coming Saturday, I should be at 10,000. So along with doing a live stream with my lovely wife, I will most likely be celebrating 10,000 subscribers, which will be great. And then also, if you haven't already, you can help back my Kickstarter for my pastel course. And if you can't afford to back my Kickstarter, which is totally understandable, then maybe just consider sharing it on Facebook or Twitter or something like that, because that would also be very helpful. And that's pretty much it. Thank you, Paul. Yes, I'm going to be done for today. So thank you, everyone that came to the live stream. I always have so much fun. I always look forward to Mondays, and it's hard not to feel guilty about it because Monday my wife has to go to work, and I'm always looking forward to Mondays because I get to spend it with all of you lovely people, just chatting, hanging out, drawing, and creating. So thank you for everything, and I will see you for sure next Monday. I might see you Thursday for a painting. That's still up in the air, but I will hopefully convince my wife also to do a live stream on this Saturday. So we'll see you then, and take care. Peace.